This is the exercise for this week. You know, my friend John stayed with his cousin. Yesterday, he came late to the class and the teacher scolded him a lot. John said his cousin brothers made him finish the chores before they let him leave for school. He said they always trouble him and make him do a lot of housework. Oh no, he must feel very bad. John is a very nice boy. He doesn't disobey anyone. He's very nice to his cousin brother despite the way they treat him. That's very nice of him. We should always forgive people for their mistakes. Have you heard of the story of Cinderella? Once upon a time, there lived a young girl called Cinderella. Cinderella's mother had died, so her father has married another woman who had two daughters. One day, Cinderella's father went to work and never returned. Cinderella was left at the mercy of her stepmother and two stepsisters, who made her do all the work of the house. Cinderella, it's morning already. Where is our breakfast? Just a moment, stepmother. I'm just bringing it out. As soon as her laid the breakfast, the stepmom and stepsisters start eating it. Cinderella served her own plate too and was about to eat when her stepsister pushed her own plate away. Yuck, I hate it. Yes, now that you mention it, it really is horrible. Mother, do something. Cinderella, are you trying to kill us? What kind of food is this? The stepmother, I have made it the way I always make it. How dare you argue with me? Go and make new breakfast for us. Don't you dare do anything else till we had our breakfast. And this is what went on. In their house every day, the stepmom and stepsisters troubled Cinderella without any reason. But she loved them and still never ever complained. One day, an announcement was made in the village. Let everybody know there will be a royal ball at the palace tomorrow night, and the king's son, Prince Charming, will marry a maiden from amongst the guests. Everybody from the village is invited. The whole village is excited. Even Cinderella's stepmom and her stepsisters couldn't stop talking about it in the house. And that is how she found out about the ball. The royal ball, Prince Charming. The whole village is invited. I will finish my work quickly so we can go all together. Won't it be just wonderful? You, who said anything about you going? You will stay here and polish our shoes till you can see your face in them. And so, with a heavy heart, Cinderella saw her stepmom and her sister dress up and leave for the royal ball the next day. Once they had left, she cried bitterly. Suddenly, her room lit up, and Cinderella saw the most beautiful fairy she could imagine. She held her hand a dedicated one. Who are you? Get up, child. I'm your fairy godmother. I'm here to get you to the royal ball. Really? I never knew I had a fairy godmother. But how will I get to the ball? I don't have anything to wear. You don't worry about that, my child. And so, in just a few minutes, Cinderella was ready for the ball. After thanking her merry godmother and got aboard the chariot, she received a word of caution for the fairy godmother. Remember to be back home at 12, otherwise the spell will wear off. Soon Cinderella arrived at the palace. As she entered the great ballroom, everyone turned to look who this beautiful maiden was. Nobody could recognize her, not even her own stepmom and stepsisters. Prince Charming walked to her. May I have this dance with you? Yes, your highness. And so Cinderella and Prince Charming danced throughout this evening, till Cinderella heard the clock strike. Fairy godmother what came back to her. She needed to get out of there before the clock struck 12. Without saying a word, she tore away from the prince's grasp and ran out of the palace. The prince ran after her. Wait, wait, what's wrong? Why are you running? I don't even know your name. But Cinderella dared not wait or even look back. Her beautiful gown was already turned into rag again. Her hair was coming loose from the perfect bun that fairy godmother had made for her. She didn't even stop when one of the glass slippers came off her foot and fell into the palace driveway. She ran out of the palace and vanished into the darkness of her path that led to her home. Once home, she went back to the polished shoes that had been given to her and decided never to speak to anyone about the ball.
Cinderella, you know my friend John stayed with his cousin. Yesterday he came late to the class and the teacher scolded him a lot. John said his cousin brother made him finish their chores before they let him leave for school. He said they always trouble him and make him do a lot of housework. Oh no, he must feel very bad. John is a very nice boy. He doesn't disobey anyone. He is very nice to his cousin brother despite the way they treat him. That's very nice of him. We should always forgive people for their mistake. Have you heard the story of Cinderella? Once upon a time, there lived a young girl called Cinderella. Cinderella's mother had died, and so her father had married another woman who had two daughters. One day, Cinderella's father went to work and never returned. Cinderella was left at the mercy of her stepmother and two stepsisters, who made her to own the housework of the house. Cinderella is mourning already. Where is our breakfast? Thus a moment stepmother, I'm just bringing it out. Thus as soon as her had laid the breakfast, the stepmother and stepsister started eating it. Cinderella served her own plate too and was about to eat when her stepsister pushed her own plate away. Yuck! I hate it. Yet, now that you mention it, it's really horrible. Mother, do something. Cinderella, are you trying to kill Earth? What kind of food is this? But stepmother, I have made it the way I always make it. How dare you argue with me? Go and make new breakfast for us. Don't you dare do anything else too. We had our breakfast. And this is what went on in their house every day. The stepmom and stepsister troubled Cinderella without any reason, but she loved them still and never ever complained. One day, an announcement was made in the village. Let everybody know there will be a royal born at the palace tomorrow night, and the king's son Prince Charming will marry a maiden from amongst the guests. Everybody from the village is invited. The whole village excited. Even Cinderella's stepmother and her stepsister couldn't stop talking about it in the house, and that is how she found out about the ball, the royal ball. Prince trembling. The whole Venice is invited. I will finish my work quickly, so we can all go together. Won't it be just wonderful? You, who say anything about you going? You will stay here and collide our shoes till you can see your face in jump. And so with a heavy heart, Cinderella, Cinderella saw Cinderella saw her stepmom and her sister red off and left for the royal ball the next day. Once they had left, she cried bitterly. She cried. Once they had left, she cried bitterly. Suddenly her room lit up and Cinderella saw the most beautiful fairy she couldn't imagine. She held her hand, a delicate one. Who are you? Get over, child. I'm your fairy godmother. I'm here to get you to the royal ball. Really? I never knew I had a fairy godmother, but how will I get to the ball? I don't have anything to wear. I don't worry about that much, child. And so, in just a few minutes, Cinderella was ready for the royal ball. As the tank her fairy godmother and got a chariot, she received a caution from fairy godmother. Remember to back home at 12. Otherwise, she spelled wind whereof. Cinderella arrived at the palace. As she entered the great ballroom, everyone turned to look. Who is this beautiful maiden was? Nobody could recognize her, not even her own step-mom and step-sister. Prince, trembling, walked to her. May I dance with you? Yes, your highness. And so Cinderella and Prince Charming danced throughout the evening till Cinderella had the clock struck. Fairy godmother word came back to her. She needed to get out of there before the clock struck 12. Without saying a word, she stole away from the prince, laughed, and ran out of the place. The prince ran after her. Wait, what's wrong? Why are you running? I don't even know your name. But Cinderella dared not wait or even look back. Her beautiful gown was already turning into wrath again. Her hair was coming loose from the perfect bun that fairy godmother had made for her. She didn't even stop when one of the glass slippers came up her foot and fell in the palace right away. He ran out of the palace and vanished into the darkness on her path that led to her home. One home, she went back to polishing that shoes, the shoe that had been given to her, and decided never speak to another about the ball. A few days later, two men from the palace showed up in their door. The lady, the prince, charming, fell in love with left behind the glass slipper at the royal ball. He believed the success his shaggy, beautiful slipper could fit only his beloved, and so we asking all the world to try this slipper, the one whom if it would be the one he will marry. If you have any girl in the house, please ask to jump to try the slipper. Oh yes, I'm sure it was one of my daughter. The slipper would fit one of them. And so both the sisters tried to fit the slipper one by one. They put and put, but couldn't get their foot in. Look like it wasn't your daughter after all. Is there any young lady in the house? No, there isn't. You can leave. As Kingman was ready to leave, suddenly the door of the house was thrown open, and the prince himself stood there. Who is this beautiful girl? He asked. Madam, you have lied to us. I demand the girl to be called forth and try in the slipper. Yet, but she is only the servant girl. Nevertheless, Cinderella, come down here at once. At once. Yes, their mother. The moment Prince Charming saw her, he knew he had found the believer. He took the slipper from the king's man and slipped it on her foot himself. The slipper fit perfectly. In a moment, Cinderella was once again transformed into the beautiful maiden from the night of the ball. Prince Charming took her to the play with him. He ordered that her stepmom and stepsister were punished for lying the kingman and treating her so badly and rudely. But being the kind-hearted burden that she was, Cinderella asked for them to be forgiven. The prince fell in love with her even more for her generosity, and they lived happily ever after. Wow, dear, how wonderful it is to forgive people. Thanks for telling me the story. I will tell it to John too. I'm sure he will like it. Okay, shall we go home now? I think it's getting late.